What's up, you guys? James Strickland here. Welcome to week 11 on my road to 2,100 pounds and my continuation on my road to 700 pounds. This week I have got just a bench day and that's it. This is my last warm-up, 585, see how everything feels. My planned attempts today is an RPE 8, so I decided to go ahead and take a 635 here. And right about here on my left pec, I actually had a little bit of a strain, so I slowed down just a little bit to finish that lift. Here's a side shot. Nothing that I can see technically that is out of whack here, but I definitely felt it right here on the press, and I slowed down here. Normally you'll see me speed through the triceps, but I did not want to get too much out of whack. But basically what I'm doing here, the concept was to feel what 685 felt like, do a negative, and if the press did not feel good, immediately shut it down to preserve not getting an injury. And it's exactly what I did. Strength-wise, felt like 685 would have gone up, but I am not going to risk a pec strain turning into something serious, a week or so out from a meet. So I went ahead and shut down all pec exercises, including my flies, my speed bench, my close grip bench with bands, and went straight to my last two accessories, which is my one arm pulls, back pulls, and obviously pec is not affected here. Didn't even feel the couple of fibers that I was kind of feeling on that bench. But once again, I stress to everybody, you got to know your own body. You got to know when to shut it down and when to call it a day and come back and fight another day a lot sooner than having a serious tear or something along those lines. So being a week and a half or so out from the meet, my call here was to shut it down. I did not like doing that, but I'd much rather do that and be 100% healthy for the meet and not have any issues going into the meet whatsoever. So finishing out my back sets here, went on to triceps and went ahead and cranked those out. Put a little extra weight on those just to make sure that I'm firing on all cylinders. But I will do a recap a little bit later in the week, let you know. I'm going to go ahead and do my ice protocol on my pecs, which is or my pec, which is 2 to 3 times a day ice for about 20 minutes with an ice pack or a bag of ice. And then about the 3rd or 4th day, I'll start to put some heat on it and light massage, some stretching. My typical warm-up that you guys see me doing with the bands and the arm circles, I'll start doing that protocol for the next couple of days through the weekend, and heat, and then probably do some hot tub work going into the meet next week, which is typically what I'll do anyways, but that'll get some blood flow going in there. But I'll let you guys know how everything feels. But at this point, after the workout, I'd be lying if I was saying I wasn't worried, but I know I shut it down in time before things got serious. And I have to stress that to you guys, especially the guys that are watching this and kind of maybe fighting some injuries yourself. This is exactly what I do to stay healthy. It's not, obviously, it's the rest and the recovery and the diet and things like that, but making smart choices during your workout and during your sets and not lifting with ego, learning to shut it down when it's appropriate, and everything will be there on meet day. I'm not worried about that, but I will let you guys know what's going on a little bit later in the week and keep you guys posted. Like I said, I'm going to go through my ice protocol, which once again is about 20 minutes or so each time, 2 to 3 times a day for about the first 72 hours, 3 days or so, and then I'll start applying heat, and that typically tells me if I have something more serious, because a bruise will typically show through at that point. All right, you guys, so we are about 8 days away from the last bench day. I told you guys I would keep you updated. Sorry I have not posted this video yet, but I did want to include kind of my injury protocol and kind of how things went. And so I'm actually just leaving the massage therapist. Had some massage work done like I always do before meet prep. Today is actually Wednesday the following week, and I feel great. My pec is not bothering me at all. In fact, it's not even sore. I actually went in on Saturday. Typically I don't, but I needed to know how I feel. I went in Saturday, about 4 days after the strain, when I felt 100% on Friday. Went in and did about 40% of all of my lifts, pretty much back to back to back, just to get some blood flow. I really just wanted to test the pec and make sure we were good to go, because I was considering changing up my attempts for the meet to accommodate a hurt pec. And I'm still open to the idea, obviously going into the meet, but what I'm going to do is basically go to the meet. I'm going to warm up just like I normally would, keep my openers the same, and if anything whatsoever feels off in warm up, I will adjust my attempts accordingly. But obviously I need to make a judgment call at the meet, and I urge everybody to do that. When you're doing any kind of one rep max, don't just go for it anyways if you think there's any chance whatsoever of injury. And at this point I actually feel 110% confident that I'm 100% healed up. But one thing that makes me different than most lifters, I think, at least the ones that are constantly seeming to hurt themselves, and I won't even go into all that. I mean, obviously some people I think are just injury prone. Some people get lucky. Some people, like myself, I think I have a very, very good injury prevention protocol built into not only my mental state when I go into workout, constantly aware of what my body's doing. I'm always thinking about how this particular workout is going to affect my next workout, especially when I'm in meet prep. But the idea behind this last week was basically to get 100% as close as possible. I did do a short regimen of some peptides, and I've never done that before, and so I wasn't real sure what to expect. So basically what I did is BPC 157, and I did IGF LR3 with some TB 500. They basically did that up until about Sunday, actually Monday, so what's that, 5 or 6 days worth, twice a day on some of them. And obviously once I stopped my ice protocol about Thursday or so, I started my heat, started light stretching, massage, did my arm circles, my stretches with my stretch cord, and did obviously my 315 is what I did for a triple. Very, very easy, basically my warm-up on Saturday. Felt great. Meet week, I typically go sit in a sauna or a hot tub or something that's just relaxing, take my mind off of everything. I don't really want to think too much about the meet. The work is already put in. There's absolutely nothing that I can do this close to a meet that makes me any stronger. If anything, what I can do is take away any type of outside stresses, take care of any issues that are going on that are pressing. I use this time as a businessman and a father and a husband to do my best in those areas 100%, because I'm obviously not being distracted with gym work and workouts and things like that. I'm constantly making sure that I'm getting plenty of rest. The last probably, well, ever since meet prep, I've been getting about 7 to 10 hours a night. That's pretty tough to do sometimes, but I just make it a point to make it a priority, regardless of what's going on. But I think all of that mixed up is my injury prevention technique protocol, if you will. Obviously you saw on the voiceover just a second ago that once I felt my pec giving out or doing something funny, I instantly was aware of it, and I went ahead and did take that negative just to see how it felt. Looking back on it, it could have gone one way or the other, but obviously I have the safety pins, so I wasn't real worried about, if I had to let it go at any point in time, let go of the tension, it wasn't going to do anything but just slam down on those pins, and I'm perfectly fine. I wouldn't do that with just a spotter and expect them to catch a dropping bar. But all that said, I feel great going into the meet. I am, let's see, we're about 3 days out right now. This is Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday, from weigh-in on Friday afternoon. Not really concerned about weight. My weight is sitting at about anywhere from 278 to about 282, depending on what's going on. It's a little lower than I was expecting, but it doesn't really matter, honestly, because I feel stronger than ever. I'm basically my strongest when I'm sitting at the weight I am now. So eating anything extra other than just eating my normal regimen, my normal water intake, vitamin intake, things like that, doing anything above and beyond that at this point is just going to add on extra weight that I don't really need, because it's not going to be utilized. The surplus calories just aren't needed at this point. Another reason why my weight is down is because when I am not working out as hard as I am the rest of the time in the training cycle, my body doesn't need that many calories, so I eat less, obviously, and so by eating less, I don't process as many calories, I don't need as many calories, so it all adds up at the end of the day. Now, if I was eating a bunch of junk food, sugary foods, things like that, we could probably go the other direction. But that's kind of it. I definitely appreciate you guys staying along with me for this meet prep. I will do kind of a recap, obviously, of the meet. I'll have as many videos as I can of all my lifts. I am going to be at the George R. Brown Convention Center at the American Fitness Expo Saturday, June 2nd. It's going to be a full meet, bench, squat, and deadlift, and the meet's going to start about 9 a.m. and I will be down there early and out down there late for anybody that wants to come by and say hi. I'll have the family out there, so it's obviously going to be a big deal. Not just competition, but just a big family day. It's USPA, so it should be a very strict and good competition meet. Got my buddy Jeff Yonker, who's actually a training partner of mine, and you see him lifting off quite a bit for me, vice versa. He is going to be in the 275 weight class, going for a pretty big total. So it should be pretty good competition just between he and myself, but there'll also be some great lifters there. BJ Whitehead, there are other lifters from the Texas area that are going to be there as well. So very excited, a lot of good friends. This is what I live for, so looking forward to not only putting up a great total for myself, looking for that big bench, but just seeing the rest of the guys out there competing and putting everything out on the line that they've been working so hard for. But if you guys have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments. You can always shoot me an email. I'm open book, and thanks a lot for every single one of you that subscribed. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and you can definitely find me on Instagram @SwimHack, and I will see you guys after the meet on the next recap. Peace.